I tried to explore white hat hacking, thinking I was joining the good guys, finding flaws to keep people safe. But beneath the surface, I found something no course had warned me about. A hit list, naming ethical hackers for retaliation, just for reporting bugs. If the protectors can become prey, what else is hiding in the system? White hat hacking is built on a promise. You only probe systems where you have explicit permission. It is not about breaking in for glory or profit. It is about protecting people from the shadows with the owner's blessing. Companies and governments set up bug bounty programs for this reason. They invite outsiders to test their defenses and reward them for reporting flaws privately, before criminals can find and exploit them. The rules are clear. You work within defined boundaries, follow responsible disclosure procedures, and keep your findings confidential until patches are ready. This framework is supposed to create a safety net, one where ethical hackers can use their skills without fear of prosecution or retaliation. Every step is documented, every action approved. In this world, trust is the currency. The organization trusts the hacker not to cross the line, and the hacker trusts the organization to honor their word, pay out bounties, and keep them safe from blame. It feels like a rare alliance, one where good intentions are not just recognized but protected. Training as a white hat means stepping into a world where the tools look the same, no matter your intentions. Capture the Flag Labs, online courses, and bug bounty sandboxes all teach the basics: how to use scanners like Metasploit, Nikto, and Acunetics, how to probe for weaknesses, and how to simulate attacks. These tools are neutral, equally useful for defense and intrusion. The difference is supposed to be permission, written authorization, clear scope, signed contracts. But the laws that govern this space are anything but clear. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, known as CFAA, criminalizes unauthorized access, but it does not clearly define what unauthorized means. Even a single click outside the boundaries of an assignment, or a scan that touches a partner's server, can land you in serious trouble. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act, known as DMCA, adds another layer, banning the circumvention of digital protections even for research, unless you qualify for a narrow exemption that changes every 3 years. In practice, even the most careful researcher can find themselves in a legal gray zone. The line between legal and illegal is not always visible until you have crossed it. Every scan, every test, carries the risk that someone somewhere will see it as a crime, no matter your intent. I was scrolling through a private forum when a thread caught my attention. It was not just chatter about exploits or leaks. It was a list. Usernames, partial real names, even email hashes lined the page. Each entry carried a price in cryptocurrency, sometimes as little as $500, sometimes thousands of dollars. The offers were not for stolen data or access to corporate servers, but for information about the people behind recent vulnerability disclosures. A post read, "DocsX this researcher," time-stamped just hours after a high-profile bug report. Another offered a bonus for proof of home address or family connections. Doc sat there like an instruction, plain and cold. The bounties did not stop at identification. Some posts promised payment for launching harassment campaigns, or for finding weaknesses in the researcher's own systems. Bounties appeared to reward retaliation as much as discovery. The metadata showed activity spikes after major security conferences. Fresh names added, new offers posted, Telegram handles and encrypted email addresses appeared next to the bounties, buyers and sellers negotiating in real time. It felt disturbingly organized. In one case, a researcher's full profile was uploaded as proof of delivery, phone number, workplace, even their child's school. The thread was filled with screenshots of successful doxing, time-stamped and cross-referenced with recent vulnerability disclosures. Proof was posted and praised. The chilling part was how methodical it was. Each entry updated, each payment tracked in a public ledger, each new target added after a public bug bounty payout or a critical blog post. It was a marketplace for retaliation, built on the idea that exposing flaws makes you a target. This was no longer theoretical. The risk was cataloged and priced, waiting for anyone willing to pay. The people who try to protect the internet were listed like commodities, their privacy and safety assigned a dollar value. The target list was real, and it was waiting. Kevin Finisterre thought he was following the rules. In 2017, he found security flaws in DJI drone software, and he reported those findings through the company's official bug bounty channel. Instead of a payout or a thank you, he received a cease and desist letter. DJ. I said his research crossed the program boundaries, accusing him of unauthorized access, and the message was clear: stop digging or face legal consequences. What began as a routine disclosure became a legal standoff, and Finisterre had to choose between public safety and personal risk. The lesson stayed with him. The scope of permission is a moving target, and crossing it can turn a helper into a suspect overnight. For Brian Krebs, the fallout came from every direction. Years of exposing cybercriminals put a target on his back. In 2013, his home was swatted, police bursting in after a fake emergency call. His personal information was posted on dark web forums. His site was crippled by massive distributed denial of service attacks. Each new investigation brought fresh threats, credible death threats, and repeated attempts to intimidate his family. Law enforcement acted, but the cycle of harassment rarely stopped. For Krebs, protecting others meant living with the knowledge that every story could spark violent retaliation. Marcus Hutchins became a hero for stopping the WannaCry ransomware in 2017. Days later, his real name and his address were leaked online, and threats poured in from botnet operators he had exposed. Then, during a trip to DEF CON, U.S. authorities arrested him, not for stopping WannaCry, but for older hacking charges. Some people suspected that criminal networks had tipped off investigators. Hutchins went from celebrated savior to criminal suspect within days. The cost was immediate: legal bills, sleepless nights, and the constant fear that one misstep or one enemy could destroy everything. In each case, the collateral fallout was the same. The people who try to protect systems often become targets themselves. They pay in time, money, and freedom. They pay in peace of mind, and in some cases they pay in reputation and legal peril. Remember this: the people who try to protect the internet often pay the highest price. Picture a dark terminal, fingers moving across a keyboard, a red alert blinking in the corner. Sleep rarely comes easy for the people who live in this world. Every new vulnerability discovered brings a surge of adrenaline, but the rush fades fast, replaced by a knot of worry that never really untangles. The more you know, the heavier the burden becomes. Lines of code that could topple a company, flaws that might expose millions, secrets that are safer unspoken. Each day starts with a scan for leaks, a search for your own name in places it does not belong. The inbox is a minefield: legal notices, encrypted threats, or sometimes nothing at all, which can be worse. The silence leaves you guessing who might be watching. Which mistake will be the one that matters? Documentation becomes a ritual. Every action logged, every scan time-stamped, every permission filed away in case the questions come later. Even among peers, trust is rationed out in careful doses. Most work alone, isolated by the knowledge that one misjudged step can erase a reputation built over years. Burnout creeps in, not from the technical grind, but from the constant awareness that the line between protector and suspect is drawn in invisible ink. The mind learns to live with uncertainty, but the cost is measured in sleepless nights and the slow erosion of ease. In this shadowed corner of the internet, paranoia is not a flaw, it is a survival skill. A single click, that's all it took to cross the line. The partner portal was not on the official scope list, but its login page was open, just a few hops from the main site. On screen, a partner portal login flickered, terminal code reflecting in a dark monitor. Curiosity edged out caution for a split second. The automated alert fired instantly, with no human review and no time to explain. The timestamp on the system log read 14:37:22. By 14:39, an email landed in the inbox, a cease and desist with the subject line in all capital letters. Minutes later, a call from law enforcement. The words were cold and rehearsed: unauthorized access, criminal investigation, possible charges. The phrase investigation hung in the air like a verdict pending. The screen still glowed with the last command. Every instinct screamed to disconnect, wipe the logs, pretend it never happened. Instead, the only move left was retreat. Pull all activity records, draft a statement, document every authorization, and hope intent would matter. The legal threat was not theoretical anymore. One click had triggered a machine response, and the system did not care if it had been a mistake. That moment drew the boundary in sharp relief between research and accusation, between helping and hacking. The margin for error was not measured in hours or days. It was measured in seconds, and the difference between safe and suspect was just one automated alert away. Right now, the line between hero and suspect in cybersecurity blurs with every disclosure. Laws lag behind, while threats adapt instantly. The people patching our digital world face real-world consequences. Protection demands risk, and sometimes those who defend the system become the most vulnerable target. Share your thoughts below.